is societal development through human resource development. Our mission is to be a world-class institute to impart value and humanity-based real life and professional education to all. Our mission is to enhance the employability of youth through coaching, counseling, mentoring, and training, to foster a better and more effective utilization of human resource through real education, training, and development in all spheres and sectors. CSR, Care's social responsibility. Providing counseling, training, lectures, and other services for government schools, colleges, polytechnics, ITIs, women's self-help groups, orphanages, and old age homes. Providing motivational videos in Care HRD for Success YouTube channel. Under various titles like training, counseling, mentoring, and coaching. You have an easy accessibility. CARE has 11 zonal offices across South India with 11 zonal directors, 30 psychologists, 100 trainers, 25 advocates, 100 visiting professors, and 20 channel partners to achieve its social goal. Still, it has been extending its service to access all clients on time at their doorstep. Services offered by CARE. Training and development. Training, soft skill, technical. Faculty and student development. Outbound trainings, workshops, guest lectures or pep talks. Tailor-made programs. Guidance and counseling. Psychological counseling and psychotherapy. Academic and career counseling. In-house counseling, psychometric assessment, one-to-one or group counseling. Legal support. Filing cases in the court of law. Legal guidance. Conducting domestic inquiries, ICC and LCC activities of POSH law. License and all statutory compliance. Recruitment. Right person to right job. Employability training, induction training, competency mapping, and conducting interviews. Other services like corporate films and training video, corporate magazines, GST services and training, translation works, and event management. CSR activities, which include empowering women, enriching government institutes, empowering suppressed people, legal and social awareness. All these social activities are managed under the guidance of Founder Director CARE, Dr. R. Krishnamurthy, Professor, Psychologist, Trainer, Advocate, and Social Worker. And also by our Joint Director CARE, Mr. S. Balachandar, Director, ELM World Academy, Hosur. You can contact us in the following mobile numbers and also visit our website for more information. Also write us for any queries in the following mail ID. Join us through social media. Subscribe our YouTube channel for free motivational videos. All our online sessions are also being shared in the YouTube channel. Also find us in Facebook, CARE HRD India. And thank you everyone for such a wonderful opportunity.
Thank you, Sahana. That was a wonderful introduction for us. And next, we will go for an inaugural address by Dr. S. Davidson, Director, Arogya Purnima Institute, Bangalore, psychologist and trainer. And he is also a trainer. He is our Karnataka Zone Director. And it is over to you, sir.
Good evening. It's a great honor and privilege that Dr. Krishnamurthy invited me to join this training program this evening. I'm indeed grateful for his gesture to invite me for this program. And I'm also happy to know about the Joint Director of Care, Mr. Palchandar. I have never met him yet. He is also a part of this body, and hence I indeed grateful to him to have given me an opportunity to be here and inaugurate this program. Friends, today Mr. Vijay.Mithra is presenting this training program, and the topic is very relevant. My positivity. I think it's well chosen, maybe inspired to choose this topic, especially in this COVID crisis time. Suddenly, this change and the change in the total living dimension as well as the lifestyle process completely changed. None of us expected these kind of changes to happen suddenly. Few weeks ago, myself and Dr. Krishnamurthy, we met here in Bangalore. We were attending a program, and that is a classroom program in which we had a lot of interaction, a lot of understanding, and we came to know each other much better and so on. Now we are looped into this Zoom meeting programs these days. Technological advances helps us in this, no doubt, but our personal interaction is almost lost. Yet, I feel comfortable in this online program also, and thanks to this technological advancement took place very long ago, yet professionally as professors, teachers, students, we are started using it in a very unique manner these days. And the University Grants Commission also has advised all our institutions to go on an online program for a teaching, training, and coaching. Friends, those who are attending here, I heard that they are teachers, professors, and students, trainers. It is a variety of group of intellectually strong leadership forum in which Dr. Krishnamurthy has brought in some series of program, including this My Positivity training program this evening. He is a great thinker as well as a great student also, as I understand him well. Dr. Krishnamurthy is really a good inspiration to many, many young people around, and even professionals alike. So this program, as I said, relevant in this period of time because people need information. There are a lot of things we have to learn, experience, and share, and make our society an ideal living place in harmony, in peace, as well as giving way to flourish mankind in all areas of life. Positive psychology is of that kind, to help people to flourish, to come into the fold of oneness, unity, by gaining the advantage of being a person of integrity, honesty, love, care, compassion, and good relationship. Such is the direction in which positive psychology is a blessing for mankind. So this topic, my positivity, is also part of the area of positive psychology, wherein the character strength is the focus. Unfortunately, in the trend today in our world is keeping on changing very faster. Comparing to my collegiate education time and my teaching time and my retirement time, now my counseling time, I see so much difference. But fortunately, the leaders in different areas of human life, humanity, are coming with information. Information is plenty, available plenty now. It is our duty to gather and gain those information for the benefit of shaping our life, not only our life fruitfully to cater to the needs of many. CARE is an ideal organization to bring in such information to people like us, all of us, to make use of that opportunity for furthering the human activities in its journey in an orderly manner to go, irrespective of the kind of frustration, the kind of pain, such as what we are facing now during this COVID-19 time. Let us hope for a greater future. Maybe something here and there differ. Because of that, we should never be discouraged. Instead, we should be encouraged and motivated to find new opportunities, new methods, new strategies, new ways of integrating between people, between institutions, between industries, and between businesses, and so on. And here we have today Mr. Vijay to present to us my positivity concept for the benefit of all those who are participating here. Let us make use of this opportunity of gathering this information to begin with for our own life, and then for our families, and for all those with whom we interact professionally, as teachers, as counselors, as trainers, and students. You are going to be really a great beneficiary out of this kind of training program. Make use of that so that you will be great leaders of the future. I thank Mr. Krishnamurthy and Mr. Palachandra for having given me this opportunity. At the same time, I have great pleasure to inaugurate this program and present this for the generation of people now to come. Let this and many more programs be of a fruitful value to our society and community. And I thank Dr. Krishnamurthy and others, those who are participating in this journey of CARE organization, providing rich information to our community. May God bless every one of us, and may God bless this CARE organization and the team, those who are doing this kind of work. And I have great honor and pleasure to inaugurate this program this time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you. It was a wonderful speech, and it's our pleasure to hear from you. And next, the introduction of trainer will be done by Jc.VIJAIMITHRA Devi Madam. She is a psychologist and trainer and CARE Vellore Zone. From our CARE Vellore Zone, she is introducing to the trainer. Uttara Devi Madam, it's all yours.
Yeah. Good evening, friends.
Good evening.
It's my pleasure to introduce our today's faculty, Jc.VIJAIMITHRA, Business and HRD Trainer. Jc.VIJAIMITHRA is a professional trainer for a span of more than 15 years, much appreciated for his style and delivery to put matters into the minds of his participants from all walks of life. Before starting his career as a trainer, he has rendered his service to the society through Rotary International. Yes, Mr. Vijay has joined Rotary Club of Tanjavur during 1996 and served as a president in 1998. He has received many awards and recognition for his wonderful services. He is good in organizing programs and projects. Of course, his potential was explored in multi-district convention and an international conference held during his tenure. Later on in 2004, Mr. Vijay joined Junior Chamber International and elevated as a trainer. J.C. Vijay was an outstanding performer in the Zone Trainers Workshop held in 2007, and now he is a certified national trainer in JCI India. On speaking about his leadership, he has started a new Rotary Club when he was the Rotary president, and also a new JC chapter when he was in JC and served as a founder president. Above all these activities, Jc.VIJAIMITHRA is the director of REN Academy, a premier institute for human resource development and English language teaching. Thousands of students have developed through this academy. Many of his successful students were placed all over India and in abroad. Every human contact is a launchpad for you in some way, is one of the quote written by him. Friends, our faculty is a famous motivational quote writer. He is a designer of questionnaires for result-oriented surveys and an English newspaper reading course. He is an orator and writer from the school days. His first book, called Tamil English Word Finder, was published in the year 1997 when he was 21 years old. Later on, he has written English language training books. And finally, we all know that blood donation is the ultimate service to mankind. Jc.VIJAIMITHRA has donated his blood around 50 times so far. Long live and wish you all the best, Vijay. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Madam Mitra.
Thank you. Thank you, madam. And hearing this, we are all excited to hear from Vijay Mitra, sir. And the platform is all yours, sir. Rock the floor, and we are waiting to take a lot of positivity from you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, fine. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So let me share the screen first and then let me start. Okay. Fine. So hope the screen is visible. My PPT is visible, right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yeah.
Good
fine.
day.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah, fine. So good evening, friends. Very happy to meet you on a positive evening, and a special thanks to the organization CARE. And Dr. Krishnamurthy has been in touch with me for the past few weeks, and I find him a very positive person, and even the title chosen today is the reason that he is such a positive person. And he gave me the complete freedom to choose the title as well as the content, and the positivity I saw in him made me to choose this title and this content particularly. And very good evening, and I convey my wishes to Mr. Balachandar, Madam Uthra, Madam Geeta, Ms. Sahana, and Dr. Davidson, and all friends from Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Karnataka, Andhra, and Telangana. So good evening once again, and let's get into the session. And so I'm Jc.VIJAIMITHRA, National Trainer from JCI India, and so you can later note down my number as well as FB ID. Fine, thank you. Fine. So certain things happen in our life in such a way that so we think about it like a miracle. So this event, what's happening today, this evening, we are having this My Positivity training, and this is also one such thing. So because within a very short period, so it is hardly 10 days when since Dr. Krishnamurthy and I got introduced through Uthra ma'am, and things are happening like miracle, and so we are here today in this session together. Fine. So definitely, I think. So one thing. So while Dr. Davidson was mentioning, so we need to say, note down or give attention to the positivity around us. this COVID-19 period has lots of negativities. We know at the same time. So on the flip side, so there is some positivity also. Without COVID-19, we people in this Zoom session today would not have met. So hope you believe that. So this COVID-19 period has given us a positive chance to meet and so to travel for a long way in our life together. Fine. So we need to thank COVID-19 also. Fine. That's good. Fine. And so my positivity, this content or what I have done today is the content is designed in such a way that it is suitable for almost people of all ages and all walks of life. And what I have done in this session is I have compiled some real life incidents and some stories which have affected me a lot, which have inspired me a lot. These incidents, these real life examples and some concepts what I'm going to give are the things which I have read, I have seen, as well as I have heard about. So all these things in a span of almost 25 to 30 years since I was in my school days. Fine, that's it. So see, as a person, when we think about certain things, we might have spent lots and lots of days in our school and lots of days in our college, in our workplace, in the society. But only certain incidents and certain stories and certain happenings remain in our minds for a long time. So I have chosen such things to be shared with you in this session. Shall we go? Fine, that's good. Okay, what do you see in this? So friends, you can use your chat box and just whatever you think about, whatever you see in this, we can just put in the chat box, please. So what is your observation about the thing, what you see in this one? Anybody? You can use your chat box, please. Yes, anybody? So is there anything? Hello? Has anybody put anything in the chat box?
6, sir, we got one response. 6 is missing there.
Okay, so Bala sir, yeah, 6 is missing. Anybody else? So how many of you got the same idea, same thought?
Ascending,
so,
number, my name is missing.
Okay, fine. Anyway, so thank you, Bala sir. So the first answer you told is what exactly I expected. Fine. So when we see this, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. So automatically for every one of us, what we think immediately is 6 is missing. Okay. And if there had been any positive comment, like, so there are so many numbers, like there are so many numbers, what is present? So if there had been lots of comments like what is present, there is no need for this session. The one comment what we got is 6 is missing. So it is the tendency of a human mind. So it can be you as well as I. Fine. So it is the tendency of the human mind that we always see what is missing. So if there is one comment like 6 is missing, then there is the need for this session, or else we can wind up this session. If everyone is giving positive comments and positive inputs, we can wind up this session. As we have one comment like 6 is missing, there is a need for this session. Fine. So see how our mind is working. Though there are 9 digits and 9 numerals, we always see what is missing. So there is a need for a session on my positivity. Fine. Okay, fine. And who is the host, please? Krishnamurti said, I think one voice is opened. You can mute them, please. Please take care of it. Okay.
Sure.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, thank you so much. Fine. So on the screen now, what you see is don't panic. This is the first tool I would like to tell you about this positivity concept. So this is a small story which has inspired me a lot, and you too can enjoy this simple story. Fine. See, there was a maternity hospital, and normally the husbands come there to admit their wives for delivery and get the delivery done, and they take the children home. Fine. So this is a very normal routine, and in this particular maternity hospital, the doctor was 20 years experienced, and she was very famous and very famous and so well-known doctor with all facilities in the maternity hospital. But what we know, what a common scene, what we can see in any maternity hospital is, after admitting the wife in the theater, the husbands will be they will be panic-stricken, and they will be walking here and there, and they will be anxious, right? Fine. So this was happening for so many years, and suddenly, accidentally, when this 20 years experienced doctor once happened to see through her chamber, through the glass door of the chamber, she saw the husbands walking here and there, and she thought, see, I'm 20 years experienced gynecologist, and I'm so comfortable with this practice, and all facilities we have, very latest facilities we have in this maternity hospital. The person who has to be anxious is me. And so why should these husbands be anxious? So they can comfortably admit their wives, get the baby delivered, and they can go home happily with the baby. Fine. So this is what she thought, and she thought we should do something to make this husbands comfortable and calm. Okay. So that evening she had a meeting with the hospital staff, and she was brainstorming with the hospital members, and everyone was giving some ideas. And one person said, so we can have a library, small library, bookshelves and a small library set up in the waiting area, so that the people who come there can pick up a book and start reading that. So their concentration will be diverted, and they won't be anxious, and they won't be walking here and there. So she thought it was a good idea. And within a week, the library was ready. The bookshelves were ready, books were bought, and everything was in place. The very first day after the library was set up, around 10 o'clock in the morning, 3 husbands came with their wives, and they got admitted, and the wives got admitted. So there were 3 theaters, and the wives were there in the 3 theaters. These husbands, while waiting in the waiting area, so initially they didn't note the this library setup, and without noting, automatically by their inner sense, they got up and they started walking here and there anxiously. Later, and after some time, they noticed that there was a small library setup. All the 3 went there and started to see what books were available. And lots of books were there, some books about science, history, and fictions, non-fiction, so many books were there. So these guys, all the 3 guys, they chose a book of their choice and sat comfortably and started reading the books. After some 10 minutes or 20 minutes, a nurse came and asked, who's Mr. Kumar here? So the Mr. Kumar, the first guy, stood up, and he said, sir, I'm Mr. Kumar. The nurse said, congratulations, you have become a father, and you have got twins. You have got twins. Congratulations. You can, the mother and the babies are safe. You can go and, they are hale and healthy. You can go and see them. This guy who was reading the book just put the book upside down so that the the wrapper of the book is visible, and just put upside down, and he went into the theater to see the wife, to see his wife and babies. He said, thank you, sister. The other 2 guys who were watching this incident, they saw what was the book he was reading. The title of the book was The Tale of 2 Cities, a famous fiction, The Tale of 2 Cities. And these 2 guys started thinking, see, the book says The Tale of 2 Cities and the babies are twins. Will there be any connectivity between these 2? And then later they comforted themselves, nothing will be like that, fine. After some 10 or 15 minutes, another nurse came and asked, who is Mr. Raju here? The second guy stood up and said, I'm Mr. Raju. The nurse said, congratulations, you have become a father, you have got triplets. And this guy said, thank you, sisters. I said, and so he had a book in his hand, right? So he just put the book upside down. He went inside the theater to see his wife and the kids. The last guy who was remaining, he saw what was that book. The book was The 3 Musketeers. The 3 Musketeers, and a popular fiction, you know, all of you may be knowing. Fine, right. So now this guy thought, see, when it is A Tale of 2 Cities, he got twins. When it is the 3 Musketeers, he had got triplets. And now his inner sense told him, just see what is the book you are having in your hand. What is the title of the book? He just turned his book and saw the wrapper and read the title of the book. Immediately, he just put down the book and started running outside of the hospital on the roads. The other relatives and the other guys who were along with him were chasing him to catch him hold. They were thinking, so why this guy is suddenly running out of the hospital? And at that time, one ward boy who came by that side, he said, sir, after seeing the wrapper of the book only, he started running. There must be some connectivity between his running and the wrapper of the book. Fine. So everyone came and took the book and saw what the title was. It was Ali Baba and 40 Thieves. Fine. So it is a humorous thing, but there is something to be connected with the positivity in this. Okay, see, what this guy has done is, he has imagined like something unhappenable. Fine. So he was panic stricken, he was afraid like by something which cannot happen. So he has thought, when it is 2, he got twins. And when it was 3, and he got triplets. And if I get 40 children, 40 babies, how can I manage? How can I make them grow up? And how can I spend for their education? How can I feed them? Something like that. So friends, here is one thing which we need to understand very clearly. And in this even COVID-19 period, we can relate to that. The one thing is, we can, I hope many of you have read the book, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by Dale Carnegie. And that a wonderful point, Dale Carnegie says that 98% of the things which we fear never happen. 98% of the things which we fear never happen. So always we can be hopeful and we can keep our mind positive that most of the things what we fear never happens. Even we all have some experience in our school days. See, I'm afraid of mathematics, though I got sent in 10th standard. In some other classes, I was too poor in mathematics. So normally, you know what will happen? The mathematics teacher will say, so tomorrow we have a class test and those who are failing in that will be given stringent punishment and all. So sometimes I go without preparation because of some other commitments and all. And the most fearing I am on some particular day, the maths teacher will be absent. He will be on leave. See, such things might have happened in your life also. Never fear or never get panic about anything. So the point is, 98% of the things what we fear never happens. So don't panic and just remember this maternity hospital story and this Alibaba and 40 Thieves story. Fine, that's good. And choose positivity. Always to keep yourself ahead in your life, choose positivity. I would like to tell you about what is positivity all about. Fine. So we can categorize it into 3 types. Okay. So 3 things affect your positivity, and it makes you whether you are a positive person or a negative person. Fine. Or whether your mind is positive or negative in that particular period. One thing is what you receive from others through various sources, through media, through people talking to you, and through what you read, through what you watch and everything. So what you receive from others affects your positivity, one thing. And I suggest you to be careful when you watch social media, the TV, internet, and newspapers and all. Do not allow your mind to get corrupted with the negative news which is spread. And have the habit of watching the TV news once or twice in a day. That is enough. And read magazines which gives you much of positive things like Reader's Digest. And when you go for the when you go for the newspapers, just see whether you are following the positive news first. Fine. So it is one thing I would like to suggest you. And the next thing is what you talk to yourself, and what we think about ourselves and what we talk to ourselves. That decides your positivity in a very big manner. Even I can say this second point, what I'm saying, what you talk to yourself is very, very important than the other 2 points. Fine. So I would like to suggest you about certain things. Like, so many of you have read about this auto-suggestion and affirmations, what we say for us, what we say to ourselves in lots of times. I happen to read an auto-suggestion or affirmation long back, which I still remember. I would like to share it with you. And if possible, you too can repeat along with me. Day by day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. day by day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. So this positive affirmation, I'm telling to myself every day. So when this is said to myself, so I feel a very positive person for the whole day. So I repeat it day by day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. So if possible, you can get it printed, and you can get it, designed in a very nice manner, and you can have a poster like that, and you can paste it anywhere which is visible in your home or in your office. So day by day, in every way, I'm getting better and better. So this is just one positive affirmation I have told you. And likewise, auto suggestion. Likewise, there are lots of things which you can tell yourself, and be careful about what you talk to yourself. Fine, that's good. And what you talk to others is very important. This decides your image in the society and among the people around you. What you talk to others makes you a positive person as well as a negative person. See, the people perceive you, the people see you as a positive person or a negative person with what you talk mostly. Fine. And at this juncture, I'm reminded of one particular incident. See, what you talk must bring good results, not the negative results or bad impact. Fine. So at this juncture, I'm reminded of one particular incident which happened on 1948 January 30th. 1948 January 30th. So can anyone guess what was that day? January 30th, 1948. So some of you might have guessed it is the death anniversary day of, so that was the day when Gandhiji expired. Fine. So he was shot dead. So see, Gandhiji was going for the prayer, and Nathuram Godse shot Gandhiji, and Gandhiji is no more. Fine. So he was lying on the floor with the bullet shot on his chest. Fine. This news reaches a particular English officer who was by that time riding his horse in the evening. He was the authority who can give the particular news items to the radio. So through him only the news items can go to the radio. What he says must be told in the radio. Without his consent, nothing can be done. He was in such a position. Fine. So the news was told to him that Gandhiji is shot dead. And he inquires about the further things and what happened, where, when, who did it, everything. And he gives information to the radio station that till I give you information, you should not broadcast anything. And you should broadcast exactly what I tell to you. So this was the information given by him to the radio station. And at the radio station, the people were waiting for his information. And so as we didn't have the social media and other TV and much ways to spread the message in those days, so the radio was the prime media. Fine. So after a complete inquiry, see that English officer with responsibility, with higher grade of responsibility, said this information must be broadcast. You know, only 2 sentences. Gandhiji is shot dead. First sentence. The second sentence, the assassin is a Hindu. Gandhiji was shot dead. Gandhiji is shot dead. First sentence. And the second sentence is the assassin is a Hindu. See, in this, the second sentence is the very important one. If he had not given this particular second sentence, there would have been you can imagine what would have happened among the particular religion people and all. Fine. So immediately people may think that's something negative and who would have done it, and they will come to the streets and very big mobs will be there in the street, and so all disasters we might have seen. This is the way we need to think and talk to others. So we can once again revise it. What you receive from others, have a filter, and what you talk to yourself, have a filter, and what you talk to others, have a filter. So just filter the information and let it in from others, and let it in within yourself and out and to the outside world also. Fine, that is it. So be careful about these things, because positivity is all about these 3 things. Fine, that's good. Fine. And when your mind is calm and when you are positive, excellent things will happen within your mind, and that will give you wonderful results. And even I can say it will elevate you in your career as well as in social life in leaps and bounds. Fine. So this incident, what I'm going to tell you, is a real life incident which happened some 5 years back. So I am also involved in this incident. So as I am a language trainer, English language trainer, so one Mr. Kumar had come to my classes. And when he came to my English classes, he was well positioned in a government job. And one day after our classes, while we were talking relaxedly one-to-one, so there was no one, everyone had left. And I was talking to Mr. Kumar, and Mr. Kumar said, I asked Mr. Kumar, Mr. Kumar, do you have any most memorable incidents in your life you can share with me? So Mr. Kumar said, sir, there is a wonderful incident which had happened in my life. I would like to share it with you. I said, go ahead. This Mr. Kumar was, as I had told you already, he was well positioned in a government job. He was a registrar, deputy registrar in a registration department, and he was given a government car, jeep, and all everything that he was well positioned. He said, sir, I was after finishing my studies in college, I was with some private jobs. Later, I tried for some government examinations. Government recruitment examinations, and after I finished my written examination, I got selected for an interview. So to Chennai, it happened in Tamil Nadu, and in Chennai he was called to Chennai for a personal interview. And people from Tamil Nadu may be knowing Mr. Natraj IPS. People from Tamil Nadu may be knowing about Mr. Natraj IPS, and he was the chief of the TNPSC, Tamil Nadu Public Service Commission, and he was one among the panel members. Some 4 or 5 panel members had been there, and Mr. Natraj IPS too was there in the panel. In that personal interview, Mr. Natraj IPS had asked Mr. Kumar one particular question. This is the question: Mr. Kumar, do you have any of your relatives in uniform service? Mr. Kumar, do you have any of your relatives in uniform service? This was the question put to Mr. Kumar by Mr. Natraj IPS, who was the chief of TNPSC by that time. See, this Mr. Kumar, that my student, he didn't have any of his relatives in government, I mean, that's a uniform service. He would have given a simple no as his answer. But as he was very calm and as he was very positive, a particular idea came to his mind, and he gave that as his answer. Now, his answer was, sir, I don't have any of my relatives in uniform service, but I consider all the people in the uniform service as my relatives. I repeat the answer, please. Sir, I don't have any of my relatives in uniform service, but I consider all the people in uniform service as my relatives. See, what a wonderful presence of mind and what a very positive answer, right? This can happen only when you are very calm within your mind and when you are highly positive about what is happening around. No need to get anxious, as I have told you in the previous story, like what happened in the maternity hospital. And we need not get anxious, and we did not think about the negative things which can happen. And when we are positive, wonderful things will happen. And immediately after this, Mr. Kumar told this answer, Mr. Natraj IPS, who was the chief, and he was a very experienced person, and the chief of the TNPSC, he openly congratulated Mr. Kumar and said, Mr. Kumar, you will be having a very positive result after this interview. You can go home. So you will be receiving a good result. And in the very first time, that was the very first government job itself was a wonderful job and a very higher caliber. Fine. So this is the thing. Your positivity will bring wonders to you. It will do miracles. Fine. That's good. Fine. And this one particular incident I would like to tell you is, this is also one thing which happened in my life, really. A few months back, I had been to Hyderabad, and there I had to address a group of people, a group of 50 students who were in their age of 20 to 25. They all were graduates. They have come out of their college and or from +2, and they were doing some courses, so that some special courses, so that they can join a particular job. So a group of 50 students, both boys and girls, of age 21 and 25. After my session was over, in the question and answer session, one particular boy, stood up and asked me, sir, We have done our school studies and college studies in our village, in our small town, or a small city, our native places, or else not much far away from our native places. But after our graduation, in this period, so we have become job seekers. While we seek job, we may have to go to bigger cities, away from our parents. So far, we have been in the comfort zone with the care of our parents and relatives and teachers, so that in such a situation that we can meet them every day. But now we are put in a situation that we have to go far away from our teachers, relatives, close friends, well-wishers, and teachers, and like that. We are going to see a totally new people in the place where we are going to get settled. We are frightened a little bit that what sort of people we are going to meet. Will they do good for us, or will there be some people who will be doing bad for us? How do we identify the people who can do good for us, and how can we identify some dangerous people? Fine, dangerous in the sense not much of danger, but the way they treat and the way they talk, like that. Fine. So I immediately, one point came to my mind which I had read long back. So I gave them this answer. So for this particular boys question, and I addressed the gathering. See, I told them, so my dear brothers and sisters, when you go to a faraway place and meet many people there, you will be finding many types of people. But you can very easily identify who will be doing good to you and who will be doing bad to you. I told them I gave them some tips. So I'm sharing those tips to you also. When you meet a new person, if that particular person is talking all the time about himself, when you meet when you meet a new person, if that particular person is talking to you about himself or herself all the time, you can simply keep a distance with that person. Because if that person talks always about the negative things about himself or herself, and all the time lamenting about himself, his life and her life, and he or she will make you a negative person. All the time remembering to the other people's lamenting, you will become a negative person and you will lose hope. So keep away from that person. And if that particular person is talking to you always about himself or herself, like in a boasting manner, like always talking so big about himself or herself, and in a due course, you will start feeling small. So you have to keep away from that particular person also. So when the other person is talking always about himself or herself, just try to keep away from him or her. The second thing I gave them is, if the person you meet is always talking about the other person, the third person, you must be there. You can have a filter. Like if the person you meet is talking always about the third person, just note whether the person is talking about the third person, good or bad. If it is always gossiping and backbiting, and you must definitely avoid such type of people. Fine. But if the person is talking about the third person, some good things, he has come in life in such a nice manner. He has learned such things, and he is doing such good things like that, and you can have a good relationship with that person. Fine. And most important is, and you must be with the person who is talking to you about you. And in that too, you can have a small filter, like you must observe the person is talking to you about your good things or bad things. If the person is talking about you, just see, and the person is talking about the positive things about you. See, today your dress is nice, and you have wonderful education, you have a good personality, like that. If the person is talking to you about the positive things about you, you can cling on to that person. And if the person is talking always about the negative things, like you cannot come up in life, and you cannot achieve much things in your life, such negative comments are always coming to you from that person, you can keep away from that person. So this is the suggestion I gave to that youngsters, and this thing we can follow, and to see whether we are surrounded with positivity. Fine. So be careful with the three type of people you meet, and always surround yourself with positivity. Thank you so much. Fine. And the next thing what I'm going to tell you is a wonderful incident which has inspired me a lot. And with this incident, we must know the power of the question, what next? This is an real life incident which happened some 40 years back in America. There was a multi-storied hotel, almost 40 floors, 7-star hotel. Like it was a routine in that hotel that lots of parties will be going on, lot of luncheons and very big parties will be going on in the hotel. One particular day, a such thing was going on in the 35th floor. There was a very big party going on, a very big dinner going on. The hero of the story is a 55-year-old dishwasher who worked in that particular hotel. He was engaged in that particular job on that day. He was on duty. Fine. The dinner was hosted by a very big millionaire in that particular city. And all the invitees were very big shots, like very big business people and politicians, actors, actresses, and such a big crowd was there. People of high caliber and elite people were there. The party happened. Dinner was served. At the end of the dinner, as dessert, ice cream was provided to everybody. So as this was happening some 40 years back, it was a habit, it was a routine in that time that ice cream was provided in glass bowl and with a glass bowl or a silver bowl with a silver spoon. Fine. So that was the routine at that time. Everyone was there, everyone was happy, they were chit-chatting with each other and they were so happy, and nice hustle bustle was there. Fine. Right, okay. And at that time, one thing happened which was unimaginable, as well as and no one expected this to happen. One particular millionaire who had come to that party as an invitee, who was a short-tempered person, started shouting immediately, suddenly, and he was shouting like this and that. Immediately, the floor manager came to the that particular invitee and asked, "Sir, what happened?" He showed his steel bowl, that silver bowl, and said, "See, I have the stain of cleaning powder in this bowl. So are we coming to your big hotel to get our health spoiled with your stainless, the stain of this particular, that cleaning agent?" Fine, something like that. So he started shouting, and as he was short-tempered, and he collapsed, he spoiled the total happiness of all the people. And he was shouting like anything. And the floor manager was apologizing to that particular invitee. And the information reached the general manager of the hotel, and the general manager came and he started he was trying to pacify that invite. And he immediately, so after knowing the complaint, what was the complaint? So the general manager sent some person to bring that particular dishwasher who cleaned this particular bowl. The story of the hero, our 55-year-old dishwasher, came to the scene and he said, "Sir, so I think you called me." Because general manager, who was much young, 30 years old, fine. So asked that 55 years old dishwasher, "Did you clean this this stainless steel bowl?" This dishwasher said, "Yes, sir." Fine. So the moment he said yes, this 30 years old, much younger general manager, he gave a slap to the 55 years old dishwasher and said, so this was happening in front of lots of women and children and lots of invitees, hundreds of invitees. He gave a single slap, a blow to the dishwasher and said, "And you are sacked. And so you are sent out of this job this moment. And you won't be getting salary for this month, and you won't be getting the provident fund amount which is accumulated in your account for the past 30 years for which you have worked here. Fine. So now you can go home." So this was the information from the general manager. This dishwasher, the story, the hero of the story, could not say anything, and this was happening in 35th floor. And by lift, he was coming down to the ground floor. And as he was coming down in the lift, he started thinking. He started reflecting on what happened. Fine. So he was thinking, what happened? So there was cleaning powder stain in that glass bowl, that bowl. Fine. So as we think like this, we can we'll be getting lots of answers. As he admitted the truth, he is sent out of the job. And if he had concentrated much in his job, he might have not been sent out of his job. Like that, lots of things we get into our mind. But one particular thing struck the mind of this 55 years old man. He thought, I am sent out of this job because a glass bowl exists. If there is no glass bowl, which has to be cleaned repeatedly and given again to the invitees in dinner, so I won't have lost this job. This was the idea that struck his mind. So without any, remorse or without any negative thoughts, he went home and told his wife and children, see, I am jobless now. I have been sacked, no salary this month, and the provident fund amount which has been accumulated, so I won't be getting all those thousands of dollars. Fine. But the whole family is worry stricken now. So they started worrying. But this man was committed towards his idea, and he started thinking, what next? So what he thought was, people should have ice cream, but there should not be a bowl. People should have ice cream, and people should eat the container of the ice cream also. He is the man who invented, who modeled the cone in which ice cream is served, the cone with wafer. Okay, so wafer biscuit. So he is the first guy who got this idea, and he set up a small lab in his home itself, and he was successful in formulating this cone, a wafer cone. And he started marketing this cone in the ice cream parlors in his own city. And little by little, he gained momentum in his business, and he was very popular in America. And after this was happening by one side. On the other side, in due course, after some 5 years or 7 years or 10 years, when this man was becoming big in business, on the other side, the hotel in which he worked, the owner of the hotel had died by that time. And his two sons, who were not able to manage the hotel in a proper way, they had decided that they can sell this hotel. This news reaches this man, and he got this news, and by that time he had accumulated much wealth, and so that he can even buy that hotel. He straight away went to the owner's sons, and he introduced himself and told him what had happened some 10 years back. I worked in your hotel, and so you may be knowing me very well, and now. And if I came to know that you have an idea to sell this hotel, and if you don't mind, I can buy this hotel. Fine. They agreed, and in a single check, he was able to buy this hotel, and he came out of the hotel with a winning spirit. Okay, on that particular day, when he had bought, and when there was a formal inauguration, he entered into the hotel as a hero, from where he had come out as zero some 10 years back. Some 10 years back, he came out from that hotel as zero, but now he is able to enter into that hotel as a hero, as the owner of the hotel. So this is the power of positivity. Never worry or think about what had happened in the past. What next? This is the question which you can put into your mind to see to see the miracles happening in your life. So always think what next, and always think about this man who invented this cone for ice creams. Fine, that's good. And in sometimes, so we may have to take experts' advice. This is a funny incident. What happened one particular day, there was an MBBS doctor, a normal physician, and he was in his clinic, and one guy came and said, "Doctor, I have got an cat which has gone into my mouth, through my mouth into my stomach, and it is running here and there. It is troubling me a lot." This guy said, "There is a cat inside my stomach. It is troubling me a lot, going here and there." This doctor, this normal physician, tried to make him understand that a live cat cannot go into someone's stomach and run here and there. So he was trying all his in all ways to pacify this guy and make him understand that this cannot happen. Fine. But this guy, this patient, was repeatedly telling him that, and the cat is running here and there, and you should bring it out. After some time, this normal physician, this MBBS doctor, thought, okay, he is not a case which can be handled by me, so I can send him to my psychiatrist friend. So he wrote a letter and he gave it to the patient and said, "See, this person is a special doctor for you, and he will treat you." And after this guy had gone, this MBBS doctor just made a phone call to that psychiatrist friend and said, "See, I'm sending this guy, and you have to handle him. He's coming with such a complaint." Fine. This guy went to the doctor and said, "Doctor, your friend, that particular doctor, sent me to you, and this is my complaint. I have a cat in my stomach, and it is running here and there, and it's troubling me a lot, and you just help me to take it out." That psychiatrist also tried a lot to make him understand that a live can go inside one's stomach and go here and there. After some time, when this fellow was insisting on his point, and the doctor decided, "Okay, I will give you I'll tell you one thing. You can go home now, and tomorrow morning you can come by 10 o'clock. Fine. So by that time, so when you come, I'll be having some special arrangements here. So I'll make you lie down, and I'll take the cat out of your stomach." Fine. So this is the promise he gave to that patient and said, "Now you can go home." This fellow very happily went to his home, and the next day by 10 o'clock, he was about to come. After this guy had gone home, this psychiatrist called his assistant and said, "See, this fellow will come tomorrow morning, and what you have to do is, tonight you go and catch a cat from somewhere and bring it and keep it in the clinic. Tomorrow when this guy comes, I will make him lie down on the bed, and after pretending like doing some checkups and all, and I will just give a pat, I'll just give a thud on the table. Fine, I'll just give a thud on the table, and when you hear that thud sound, so what you can do is you can let the cat out, so that we can show him that the cat is out, and we can make him believe that the cat has come out." So this was the plan. The assistant got a cat from somewhere, caught a cat from somewhere, and this guy came the next morning by 10 o'clock, and he was made lie down on the bed, and the doctor pretended as if he was doing some checkups and all. And after some time, he gave a thud on the tap on the table, and the assistant let the cat out. With the meow sound, the cat was running. The doctor said, the psychiatrist said, "Guy, see, the cat is out and it is running there." This guy stood up and got out of the bed and hold the shirt of the doctor and said, "So are you trying to cheating me?" He was asking, "Are you trying to cheating me?" The psychiatrist was confused. "See, so what is there in cheating? What is there about like cheating in this? The cat which was in your stomach has come out and it is running there." Fine. This guy said, "No, you are cheating. So I will file a case against you. I'll sue you." Fine. Something like that he was telling. And this doctor again repeatedly asked, "So what is wrong with you?" And so, "See, when the cat is out, so what is wrong with this?" And then the boy said, the guy said, "The cat which had gone inside my stomach is black. The cat which is running here is white." Fine. There will be such people, and even sometimes we will behave in such a way that even after getting the advice of an expert, even after getting all good positive points and all good advices and suggestions, we won't be able to concentrate on that advices and suggestions and good points what we had got. So we will be always finding fault, some new faults, right? Fine. So we should avoid like such fault finding and the attitude of not getting the right points from others. Fine. So this is one funny incident. The point is always get the advices and suggestions in the right manner and try to follow and solve your problems. Fine, that's good. Fine. And it is this particular incident which I'm going to tell you is a wonderful thing which has inspired me a lot. In this thing, what we are going to do is we are going to talk about two people. And I'm going to give you a few points about these two people. See, the first person was a worst drunkard who used to go on search for very cheap liquors, and in inebriated mood, in drunken mood, he used to lie down in gutters and all, and in dirty waters and gutters and all. So this was the habit. This was the first person. Was drunkard. Fine. But the second person was a person who was much respected in the society, even by the world leaders like the presidents and prime ministers of many countries, the chief of the UNO, something like that. And he was interviewed by many radio stations and TV stations and all. The second one. The first person was drunkard, and the second was a much respected person. The first person was jobless for a long time in his life, and for some time in his life. And he was dependent on others, and all vice habits he had. Fine. Okay, but the second person had provided jobs to many people in his life, and he spread positivity among many people. He was very successful in running his company, and he has provided jobs to many people. Fine. This is the second person. And the first one had failed as an insurance agent. He had a job as an insurance agent. He had failed utterly in a very bad manner in his job. But the second one had written books on insurance sales, and he made thousands and thousands of youngsters take a livelihood as insurance agents, and he guided so many people in the sales industry. Fine. Okay. And the first person was bankrupt, and he was in heavy debts, and he was bankrupt, and he was dependent on the people around him for a long time. But the second person had earned in millions by running his company in a very nice manner and very profitably. So we have seen about two people. One had all negative points, and one is having all the positive things. Fine. By now, you must be having the curiosity, like, who is the first person and who is the second person. As I have told you, this is a real life incident which had happened in our very youth, a few decades back. And now all of you must be having a very big curiosity about who is this particular first person and who is this particular second person. Fine. Okay. And some of you might have guessed by this time, like, and of one more point I would like to tell. The first person had attempted suicide 1 or 2 times, and he was about to end his life. And the second person had instilled hope in millions by his books and speeches and lots of things. Fine. Okay. So by this time, many of you might have got, you will be curious, as well as some of you might have got an idea that can these two people will be the same? Or these points about the first person and the second person, or about one particular person. Fine. If you had got that idea, hats off to you. That is the truth. Fine. This person is Og Mandino. Fine. And Og Mandino is the person so Og Mandino is the person we have been seeing in the previous slide. And he was that first person who had all the negative points, and he was the very person who's having all the positive things. And how could this happen in one particular person? So all two extremes. So he was in the most negative extreme, as well as he was in the most positive extreme also. So how could this happen in one particular man's life? This miracle happened because of one particular book that is written by W. Clement Stone, and the title of the book is Success Through Positive Thinking. After facing all the negativities in his life, and one particular day when he was about to commit suicide, he had decided, today I'm going to commit suicide. Og Mandino had decided that he is going to commit suicide. And while he was searching some way to find the way for committing suicide, like whether we can hang ourselves, or shall we go and lie down on a railway track, something like that. And on the way to find some good way to commit suicide, he happened to find a library, and a small spark struck his mind. Why can't we go into this library for some time? He went into the library, and he found this wonderful book, Success Through Positive Thinking, written by W. Clement Stone. And that moment he started reading that book, his life changed completely. And you can see in the previous thing, see what had happened in his life, like see such drastic changes. All these things happened because of one particular book, that is Success Through Positive Thinking, written by Ogmandino. And Ogmandino himself is a very popular writer after he had read this particular book, and The Greatest Salesman in the book, and lots of books. So you can find Ogmandino's books, and please read Ogmandino's books so that you can have positivity in your life also. Fine. And one small incident I would like to share about books as well as Jawaharlal Nehru. So one Jawaharlal Nehru, when he was the Prime Minister of India, one particular day he was seen nowhere in his house or his office, and he was absconding, like he was missing. And as he was the Prime Minister of the country and he was missing, and the whole government machinery had become panic-stricken, and everyone were searching for the Prime Minister. And for almost half an hour, he couldn't be found anywhere. After some half an hour, some people found that he was struck into an elevator, mechanical type of elevator, where in those periods we didn't have this mobile like equipments and all. He was stuck inside an elevator, and after much difficulty, Jawaharlal Nehru was brought out of the elevator, the lift, and immediately after coming out, what Jawaharlal Nehru told was, he didn't scold anybody, and I mean he didn't scold in such a way that, oh, wow, you irresponsible people, you could not maintain this a lift in a proper way, something like that. Nothing. So what he told was, why couldn't you keep a book inside the elevator? If you had kept a book inside the elevator, I could have utilized this half an hour when I was stuck inside that elevator usefully, fruitfully reading the book till you bring me out. See, this is the thing we need to understand. A good reader will see positivity in anything. So this wonderful incident had inspired me a lot, and so hope you too will be getting inspired with this. And visualization is a wonderful thing which keeps you positive in your life in any stage. Even at if you are at the verge of committing suicide, and if you are at the verge of end of your hope, visualization can bring you back to your life in a colorful way. Fine. So this one particular incident, I happened to read in a Tamil magazine some 25 years back, and Tamil viewers, Tamil participants who are in this meeting, you may be knowing about writer Raki Rangarajan, who is a very famous writer, a journalist, as well as a wonderful translator. And there's a popular magazine in Tamil by name Kungumam. In that particular magazine, there was a serial, there was a series, and he was writing. This serial was about positivity, completely positivity, which I had read some 25 years back. As I have told you already, I'm sharing the very effective things which I had inspired in my life. Fine. The story goes like this. This is a real incident which happened in Serbia some 40 years back. Fine. Fine. So the narration is like this. There was a very young girl who was in her 16, 17 or 18 age, and she was an orphan. She was living alone in her home, a small house which had been left to her by her parents. Okay, she had her own house, very small one. But her daily earning was in such a way that she had to go to a nearby mill, work for the day, and get the daily wages, and come home and cook for herself and have the dinner. In daytime, she will be provided food in the mill where she was working. This was her life. She was very poor, and her life was very pathetic. Fine. But she had an urge to learn playing piano. So this was an urge she was having for a long time, and she went to a piano master who was a lady piano master, and this girl said, "See, I'm coming from such a place. I'm very poor and a very pathetic condition, but I'm having an interest to learn piano, and I would like to join your piano class. And what will be the monthly fee?" Something like that she was asking. The fee told by the master, the lady master, was not affordable by this girl, and she said, and this girl said, "Master, madam, you please admit me in your class. Let me learn piano, but I cannot give the fees in one particular payment, one single payment. I will be giving you in installments. Fine. Okay. So I think one voice is open and somebody can manage to mute it. Thank you. Fine. Right. And this girl was telling, so I could not make it in single payment. And so it just give me some choices of making it installments. But this piano master, that lady was so harsh that a girl who is not even able to pay your monthly fees, so why should you learn piano and all? You are never going to learn piano. So she sent this girl off with the particular, this negative words. And she was, this girl was so sad and she went to her home and, but she started doing one thing and she didn't lose hope. What she did is, some point told by somebody in some place in some time just struck her mind that like, yes, visualization. Somebody had told her that whatever you want to achieve in your life, just start visualizing about it. You will get it one day. She started visualizing that. Her house was so small and she had a hall. She started visualizing as if there is a piano already there. It was empty with her own small furniture items, but she started visualizing like there is a piano already there. So her visualization was in such a way that even she will not cross that place while she was walking here from one corner of the hall to the other corner, because she has imagined and she has visualized that there is a piano. While there is a piano, how can a person cross that place? So she'll be going by this way or by this way. She'll be taking some other route to go to that next corner of the hall. And even while she was sweeping the floor, what she'll be doing, if as she has imagined that there is a piano there, and she cannot sweep straight away, and by the she will imagine that there is a piano there, and nearby the legs of the piano, and she will be sweeping, something like that. So she had completely imagined that there's a piano there. There's a piano. Fine. This she was doing for some 6 months. After some 6 months, one day on a particular holiday day, on a Sunday, she had to go to a nearby town, which was some 50 to 60 kilometers away by a train. As she had got into the train and got a window seat, and she was looking outside the window, and when the train started, she noticed that there was an old lady who was sitting in front of her on the opposite side. That old lady, after she greeted, this girl greeted to that lady, and she too greeted. And after some time, after a few words, and that old lady and started talking to this girl and said, "So my dear child, and I think you can do a favor for me." But this girl was this girl started laughing. "See, ma'am, so you seem to be very rich and well placed, and so your look itself shows that you are well off and you are like a multimillionaire. And what sort of favor can such a poor girl like me give you?" This lady started talking. "See, girl, and I'm the wife of a multimillionaire who is in this town. My husband was a millionaire and he's no more now. He's a very big industrialist. The thing I want from you is, like, I have a piano in my home, which was very fondly maintained and played by my husband for long years. He liked that piano rather than me. But now the thing is, he is no more, as he has expired. This particular piano is the one which was very fondly maintained by my husband. After his death, I'm maintaining that piano in a very nice manner without getting any damages. But the problem for me now is, I have to visit my two daughters who are abroad, who are in two different countries, for 6 months at one place and for 6 months in another 6 months in another one with another daughter. Fine. It will take 1 year for me to come back. But if I keep this particular piano, which is much loved by my husband, idle in my bungalow for 1 year, it will get spoiled. It will get damaged. Fine. So what I want is, I want someone to keep this piano with them and maintain it for 1 year and give it back to me once I come back from abroad. Fine. So you can imagine what would be the mindset, what would be the thoughts and things going on in the girl's mind now. She was so happy, but she could not reveal that as if to the lady that she had such an idea to buy a playground or something like that. And she didn't reveal anything, but she was very happy. Fine. She said, the girl said, okay, ma'am, and this is my particular address. She gave her address, my name, my address, all the information I have given you, and you can send your piano to my home. I will maintain it for a year, and I will give it back to you the next year. The next day, some people came by lorry, and they asked, showing the address, they asked, is this, are you this particular girl? And the old lady, the ma'am, has sent this piano to you. And she was so happy, and she admitted the people to come inside and place the piano. You won't believe it. The people who came with the piano, so unloaded it from the lorry, brought it inside the home, and they placed it in the hall. You won't believe it. It was in that very place where this girl had thought the piano was. Even the legs, the 4 legs of the piano were placed in exactly in that place, not even a single millimeter or centimeter away, this way or that way. This is the power of visualization. And this thing happened, and the people who brought the piano thanked this girl and they went off. And for some 1 year, this girl started learning piano by herself, and she had become well versed playing piano. And she was so happy with her small learning and playing this piano every day and all. But you know what happened after 1 year? Now she got the she started fearing that the old lady will come back, the madam will come back and ask for the piano. The same thing happened. One particular day, a messenger came and said, the madam has sent this letter to you. The letter was like this: I have come from abroad and I would like to come and see the piano in your home. So I would like to visit your home first. Right. So half-heartedly, this girl accepted for it, and the next day she was waiting for the old madam to come and see the piano. The old lady came and saw the piano, and she was much happy that it is well maintained than what she had maintained in her home. So it was so well maintained, and when she played, the tunes were so nice. And the old lady now told a miraculous thing. You know, what is it? This lady said, my dear girl, and you have maintained this piano very well for this one particular year. And now my thought is, if I take this piano back to my home, as I am old, I may be dying anytime. I don't know whether this will be maintained by my daughters in a proper way. But you are young now. You are young now, just 16 or 18. So you have a long years in your life. I want this piano be with you, and it will be maintained in a proper way as my husband wanted. And this piano is my gift to you. This is the miraculous word told by that old lady to this young girl. See, visualization. So positive thoughts and positive thinking, and anything positive in your mind will bring you miracles. So this thing had inspired me a lot, even 25 years later, since I had read. I'm just I'm able to remember it and tell you. Fine. So visualization is a part of positivity, and have visualization of whatever you want. That will help you a lot. Fine. And this particular story is about an young guy. So he was, let us name him, it's an imaginary character, fine. So let us name him Raju, fine. So Raju was a private employee, and after his college, he had got a job and he was earning 10,000 rupees. He was in a private job. And he was a manager of a company, a small company. He was earning 10,000 rupees. After he got the job and he was settled, somewhat little bit settled, his parents said, now we should find a girl for you for getting married. He accepted. This guy got married. And before getting married, Raju was able to have 5,000 rupees for him, for his family expenses and his personal expenses. He was able to save 5,000 rupees per month. But after he got married and got a child, and he was not able, the salary was the same, but the expenses had increased. By this time, Raju was thinking about having some more income. So he started thinking, why can't we run a small business? Why can't we start a small business and have some more income? So at that particular time, he happened to see a advertisement in a newspaper like Kennedy Consultants. So that was the name of the company, Kennedy Consultants. And they had given an advertisement like, so whoever you are, we Kennedy Consultants help you by analyzing your profile, your education, your financial background, your skills and all. We will be suggesting you some idea like what business can you start and how you can become a wealthy person in a very short manner. In a very short as well as in a very righteous manner. Fine. So in a very honest manner. Fine. That was the advertisement they had given. Raju was very happy with that advertisement, but there was one particular note below, that is, our consultation fee is rupees 1,000. You have to send rupees 1,000 to our account, and after receiving the account, the amount in the account, we will be sending you a particular date. We will be informing you a particular date. On that particular date, you can come to us in person and get the advice. Before that, you have to send the money as well as the information what we need about you, your past profile, background, everything and all. Fine. So Raju accepted to all these things. He sent 1,000 rupees to the company's account, and he was waiting for the particular date information. So he got that particular mail or a letter, and on particular day he had to go to that Kennedy Consultants company, and he went. Fine, okay, and he landed. Raju was living in a small town, and that company, Kennedy Consultants, was in a very big city like Chennai or Bangalore or Mumbai or Calcutta. Fine, and so he landed there in that big city, and he searched for the particular company. He found out where the company was, Kennedy Consultants. He found the board, and there was a very big door, very nicely decorated, very nicely carved door, and he entered. He just pushed the door, and he entered there. Normally, when we enter into any office, what we see is and a reception area, right? A receptionist will be there, and a reception setup will be there. Some tables, chair, furniture, fan, AC, all these things will be there. But this fellow couldn't find anything there. It was an empty hall. Nothing was there, and he started fearing that he might have been cheated by the company after collecting 1,000 rupees from him. But while he was thinking whether he has been cheated, he could note one thing, that is, in the opposite wall, he could find two doors. One door, it was written employee. In another door, it was written employer. Then he thought, okay, it seems they have classified the clients, the customers, as employees and employees. So I am an employee of a private concern, so I can enter into this employee door. So he entered into that employee door, and in the next hall also, he couldn't find anything. It was an empty hall. But he could find on the opposite wall two doors. That is, in one door, it was written monthly income 10,000 and less, and the other door, it was written monthly income 10,001 and above. Now he thought, I'm earning 10,000, so I can enter this left side door, that is 10,000, less than 10,000 and less. He opened that door and entered the next hall. In that hall too, he couldn't find anything, and it was an empty hall, but he could find two more doors on the opposite wall. That is monthly savings 1,000 and less, and in the other door, it was monthly savings 1,001 and above. Now he thought, our saving is 1,000, I could enter this door. 1,000 and less. That was the door he chose, and he entered that. This is the most shocking time for Raju, that the building was built, it was in such a way that it was not going straight. After he had entered into the first hall, it was slightly bent, and the next hall, it was more bent, and the next hall was much bent, and it was, the way was leading, all these three halls were leading to the road. Just adjacent to the main door, there was a very small door, as if like a single person can go like that. Fine. After entering the main door, after crossing these three chambers, now he was standing on the road. Facing the road, he could see all the buses and cars going on. And he was totally disappointed. He thought, I'm cheated in such a bad manner, and he was about to lose his hope. At that time, he wanted to do something. He just went to a tea shop which was opposite. So just ordered for a tea and started sipping the tea. Then idea struck. Then a thought struck his mind, and keeping that half-drunk tea glass there in the shop itself, he rushed to the main door. He opened the main door and thought, why couldn't I choose the other door now? Fine. So the first time, in the first chamber, he chose the employer door. In the second chamber, he chose 10,001 and above. And the third chamber, he chose 1,001 and above. Now he could, after crossing all these three chambers, now he could find a real reception area. There was a beautiful receptionist. She came and gave a flower bouquet to this Raju, and she greeted her and she said, so welcome sir, please take your seat, have the cool drinks and all. And after he had the cool drinks, and she took her inside to the main chamber where Mr. Kennedy was waiting with all the profile report and everything. Fine. Immediately after entering the Mr. Kennedy's chamber, the MD's chamber, Mr. Kennedy greeted Mr. Raju. Welcome, Mr. Raju. Please take your seat. But the curiosity Raju had. So the first question Raju asked was, now you are greeting me, so giving me flower bouquet and giving me nice cool drinks and all, everything is okay. But why did you send me out in the first round? Then Mr. Kennedy said, Mr. Raju, we need people who can see the future. We don't need people who are seeing the present time and the past time. If you are focusing only on the present time and the past time, you will never come up in your life. We want people who can think what I can become, and we do not want people who think what I am. Fine. This is the big lesson given by Mr. Kennedy to Mr. Raju, because Mr. Kennedy said, the people who will think about their future only will take what I am telling in my report, and they will take the advices and suggestions what I am giving. They will implement it and come up in my life, or else they will spoil my company's reputation. They will go and tell, I went to Mr. Kennedy and he gave me all these suggestions and nothing is working, because you will be thinking about your present thing and the past thing only. So start focusing on your future. Have positive thoughts about your future. Think that I'm going to become an employer. Think that I'm going to earn more than 10,000 rupees. Think that I'm going to save more than 1,000 rupees. So this is the way we need to think and have visualization and start thinking about the future. So this is a wonderful message which had really inspired me a lot. And these two incidents, let me go fast. And there was a country and it had an army, and there was a war between this particular country and the other country which was nearby. The commander of the army at one point found that his army men were a little bit dejected, and they were starting losing their hope about winning the war. And he made all the soldiers assemble and said, okay guys, and now I'm going to go for one particular thing. That is, I have a coin in my hand. So once we toss this, if we get head, we are winning this battle. And if we get tail, I think the other way will be happening. And let us see. And with these words, and he was talking with these words, and he was addressing the dejected and the soldiers who had got their their confidence and hope a little bit draining down. And he said, now I'm going to toss this coin. So he tossed the coin, and fortunately it was head. And after seeing this head in the coin, all the guys got hope, and they started rejuvenated, and and they were so vibrant, and they were all ready to fight the battle, and they fought the battle and they won. After they won the war, and they reported the thing to the king, and there was a celebration. On that particular day, when the commander revealed. Now, by this time, you could have imagined what would have happened. The commander revealed that I have this particular coin in which both the sides are printed with head. This is the way we need to inculcate hope wherever we are. Okay, and there are two words. One is fact, and another one is faith, or else we can say truth. Fact and truth. In Tamil, we call it unmai vaimai. Unmai vaimai. See, for example, you can find the difference between these two things. Like, so you are at your home, and one particular guy is running towards your home, and he wants to hide himself in your home. He says some gangsters or a mob is following me to kill me. I'm a good guy, and some mob is following me for some reason to kill me. So this guy, this stranger is hiding inside your home. Now the mob comes to you and they are asking, did any guy come by this side? You understand the situation and you find that this guy is a good guy who is hiding here is a good guy and he doesn't have any fault on side. Now, if you say, yes, there is a guy hiding in my house, this is fact, unmai in Tamil. But understanding the situation, if you say no one has come by this side, this is what? Truth. Why? Fine. There is difference between a fact and the truth. And the commander had told the truth, told the real thing in the battle itself. That is fact, and they would have failed. Fine. So he had insisted a hope and instilled hope by the way of truth. This is the message we need to get. And one more incident. This book, the picture of the book you can find. See, there was a small boy who was afraid of darkness as well as being alone at home. And on one particular day, he had to stay at his home by night alone till his parents come by midnight or the next morning. Right. The neighbor, who was an old man, came to him and asked, see, I find you to be somewhat disturbed. So what is the reason? This boy said, I'm a little bit fearful of staying alone in this home in the darkness till my parents come back. Then he said, okay, you just forget about everything, and I have a way for you. This old man went to his home and brought a big book-like thing, which was wrapped. The wrapper, the title of the book could not be seen. So wrapped in a cloth bag or something like that. He gave it to this boy and said, my dear boy, this is the holy book of our religion. And this has much power, and this brings good positivity and hope and all good things to you. And don't open the cloth which is covered, and just have this by your side. Just hold it and just sleep. Fine. And you will be finding all good things, he said. The boy simply followed it, and he went to his bed with this holy book by his side, and by holding the holy book, he slept all the night. The next day morning only his parents came. And he was narrating his parents that such things had happened. Later, he went and opened that the cloth bag, and he could not find any holy book of his particular religion, and he just found a very big dictionary. See, this is the way. It was just a dictionary, but by his presence of mind, that old man wanted to inculcate and instill hope in this mind, and so that he could manage the situation. And this is the way. Just by so if he had told him that this is a dictionary, it is fact. But what he had done, what he told, like this is the holy book of his religion. This is truth. So this is the way we need to inculcate hope in other people, right? Okay, that's good. Right? And I think now it is 8:20, and let me rush. Okay, and I'm going to skip this particular point. If possible, let us see later. And this one also I can skip. Right. Okay. Fine. Okay. So these two incidents, if possible, I would like to share with you in some other situation, or else let me record it in a video and send it to you through some channel. Fine. So now we are at the end of the session. If you have any questions now, you can please ask me. Krishnamurthy sir, please, if people have any questions,
yes, dear participants, if you have any questions, you just type in your chat box or.
Sir, before anyone raise hands, I have one question. Can I ask?
Yeah, please, sir. Yes, please.
Thank you. Sir, you told live in the future, but
yeah.
Many motivators are telling us to live in the present. So,
yes.
Yeah, that's what just it's.
Okay, so wonderful question, sir. That is, and even I would like to suggest you a book at this time, a book by name The Power of Now. A book by name The Power of Now, written by Eckhart Tolle. The name of the author is Eckhart Tolle. The name of the book is The Power of Now. It's a wonderful book. Like, see, the thing is, always thinking about the past will be dangerous. We need to take in account the present in a small manner, and we need to focus on how we can go from here to there. That is the thing. The focus must be on the future, but the thing is, we should not keep remaining in the present situation itself. That is the idea. Fine. Hope you have got the message, right?
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you so
yeah,
much.
fine. Thank you so much. Please.
Geetama, please unmute Mr. Prasad Rao. Geetama?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Please unmute Mr. Prasad Rao, 87F0D.
87. Okay. It is muted, sir. Unmute. Okay.
Yeah, please unmute.
Okay.
Yeah, my personal congratulations to Doctor as well as Mr. Vijay. The methodology of teaching is simply excellent.
Thank you so much.
Methodology is simply excellent. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So nice.
Any particular things which had inspired you?
Especially the PPTs are very simple, very presentable. For example, you look at the thank you, make it happen. That is the one that will take you long way from there.
Yes, fine.
I'm an NLP trainer.
Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Okay, so
yes.
so I would like to tell you.
My personal congratulations to you.
Yes. Thank you so much, sir. And as the session is about positivity, and I suggest everybody to go for NLP classes, and even sir can be the facilitator. Fine. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. Have a nice time.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Please.
Thank you.
Geeta ma'am,
yes.
Please unmute Dr. K. Shekhar from Ethiopia. He's from Ethiopia.
Okay.
Dr. K. Shekhar, Kamamuri.
Shekhar, sir?
Yes, madam.
Yes, you can share your views.
Yeah, Dr. Shekhar, welcome. Yes.
Sir, thank you, sir. It's really wonderful presentation.
Thank you so much.
With a lot of practical examples rather than telling something. I really appreciate you a lot. And many people can use this one and they can definitely come up in their life. It's really a wonderful presentation, sir.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Shekhar, sir. Fine.
He's from Ethiopia. He's a professor in Ethiopia.
Wonderful, wonderful, sir. So very happy to have you in our meeting, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thanks, sir.
Thanks, Dr. Shekhar. Geeta ma'am, please unmute Mr. R.N. Ilangovan, our mentor.
Ilangovan, sir, please welcome.
Yes, sir. Please.
I'm audible.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You're audible.
Yeah.
So, illustrations and stories make the presentation very attractive.
Thank you, sir.
My appreciation to all of you, and appreciation to Dr. Krishnamurthy for organizing this.
Thanks a lot, sir. Thanks a lot, please.
Okay, bye.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Geeta ma'am, please unmute Meera, because already he has hello.
Yes, sir.
Geeta ma'am, please unmute Meera.
Yeah, unmuting, sir.
Sangatji?
Yeah.
Please share your views regarding the program.
It's an excellent program. It's a very useful this time actually. As everyone says, everyone is satisfied with the wonderful session.
Thank you.
The stories are excellent.
Thank you so much.
Very much tailoring made, actually customized.
Yeah.
Meera madam, you are unmute. You can talk.
வணக்கம் விஜய் மித்ரா சார்.
வணக்கம் மேடம், ப்ளீஸ்.
அதாவது ஒரு நிகழ்ச்சினா சில பேரை மட்டுமே மகிழ்ச்சி படுத்தும், உங்களோட நிகழ்ச்சி அனைவரையுமே மகிழ்ச்சி படுத்தி இருக்குங்க சார்.
ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம் மேடம், ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம்.
குறிப்பா அந்த ஐஸ்கிரீம் ஸ்டோரி ரொம்ப நல்லா இருந்ததுங்க சார்.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, madam.
ஒருத்தர் பாசிட்டிவ் ஆட்டிடியூடோட நம்ம லைஃபை அணுகணும் அப்படின்னா நம்ம எந்த அளவுக்கு முன்னேற முடியும் அப்படிங்கறது அந்த கதை மூலமா ரொம்ப விளக்கமா தெரிவிச்சிருந்தீங்க. ரொம்ப நல்லா இருந்ததுங்க சார். மகிழ்ச்சி சார். நன்றிங்க சார்.
ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம் மேடம். மேடம், நீங்க எங்க இருந்து பேசுறீங்க, என்ன பண்றீங்கன்னு தெரிஞ்சுக்கலாமா?
ஓசூர்ல இருந்து பேசுறேங்க சார். நான் ஒரு தமிழ் ஆசிரியர், மிஸ்டர் கிருஷ்ணமூர்த்தி பேராசிரியர் அவர்களால ஊக்கப்படுத்தி கொண்டே இருக்கின்ற ஒரு ஆசிரியருங்க சார்.
ஓகே, நீங்க தமிழ் ஆசிரியங்கிறது உங்களுக்கு தமிழ்லயே தெரியுது. ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம் மேடம், ரொம்ப சந்தோஷம். தேங்க்யூ
நன்றி
ஸோ மச்.
நன்றிங்க நன்றி.
அதுல ஒரு கூடுதல் தகவல், உங்களோட ப்ரோக்ராம பத்தி நீண்ட நெடிய கவிதை எழுதி எங்க கேர் குரூப்ல ஆல்ரெடி போஸ்ட் பண்ணிருக்காங்க அவங்க.
Wow, wonderful, wonderful,
Oh,
wonderful.
very nice.
So I'm so curious to read that poem, please.
Yeah, please.
You can send it.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
Sahana, our youngest trainer.
Hello.
Hello, please, Sahana.
Hi.
Yes. And your feedback, please.
It was so interesting, sir. I just loved the stories.
Okay.
Like, it was interesting because it was made into a story.
Okay.
If it was monotonous, people wouldn't concentrate that much. These stories were really good. Thanks for the session. So.
Thank you so much, and thank you for the wonderful introduction you gave me. Right? Thank you so much. And in the beginning, so Uttara madam had given my introduction, and you had given the introduction about the CARE organization. Fine. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, please.
It's fine, sir.
Yeah.
Our sincere thanks for Mr. Dr. Davidson. It is our CARE is guided by such a senior people. We are proud of you, Dr. Davidson, sir. And our CARE trainer, thanks for our CARE trainer, Sahana, for the wonderful introduction about our CARE. And thanks for Shankar, our media partner. And thanks for our team, technical team, J.C. Bala, Nadarajan sir, and Dr. Shegar. And thanks for Upra Devi madam, who has introduced Mr.V.J.AIMITHRA to CARE.
Really?
A great thanks to Upra Devi madam. And our coordinator Geeta, hard work, wonderful coordination to make the program very successful. And on behalf of our founder director, Dr. Krishnamurthy, we thank all the participants who are patiently sitting here. And thanks to all. Thank you.